I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Bobby. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, randomness, out of the blueness, reactions, commentaries, just whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called The Banana Splits Movie. Now, while this film could have been a lot better, I didn't mind it for what it was. I thought it was at least kind of an interesting idea. I liked some of the actors, mainly the lead mom. I liked kind of her transformation. Her transformation to a pretty badass mom. Although there are some pretty irritating characters in there. It does have a couple of decent kills. And the whole idea is, it's a bit quirky, and this is the kind of film I'm kind of more open to being made than the umpteenth Halloween film. I'm sorry. Halloween 2018, as in there's been 2018 sequels. Sometimes it just get boring after a while. Now, I will say I don't know shit about the Banana Splits show back in the day. For what I remember a little bit of, it was about 30 some episodes on NBC. I think it was on Saturday mornings in like the late 60s. And it was these four characters, like furry, the animal characters, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snorky. Snorky was an elephant. The others, I think one's a dog and one's, I think, a lion. I forget what the other one was. I didn't grow with it. I know it was Hanna-Barbera also working with Sid and Marty Krofft. Sid and Marty Krofft worked on Land of the Lost, H.R. Puffin stuff. So this is a show that did not last long from what I remember. And I don't know any fucking person that has ever talked about this show. The only reference I've heard of this show is the song Tra la 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 Tra la 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 la. That was in the movie Kick-Ass from 2010. In fact, I didn't even know that until watching this film. I went, wait a minute, that fucking song sounds familiar. Oh shit, it was in Kick-Ass. That's where it's from? This fucking show from back in the day? Or maybe I'm just not in the stratosphere of the Banana Splits. So it was weird to make a Banana Splits movie in the first place, and then the fact that they take this very kid-friendly show that was, you know, in its day, kind of Barney the Dinosaur, that type of stuff back in the day, and making a horror film out of it. A fucking horror film. I kind of admire the balls on that. kind of admire the cojones on that. Kind of makes me wonder if they ever did like a Fraggle Rock, horror movie edition. Fraggle Rock goes up people's asses and comes out of their mouth and, start killing people, eating through people's ears and eyeballs and... You're dead in Fraggle Rock. Your ass grass is God. Whoa, what the fuck? Come die at Fraggle Rock. You've been Fraggle Rocked. Fucking rock smashed people's heads. Are you like a horror movie version of Elf? Haha, Willie, I just killed you. I kill me, now I kill you. I eat cats, now I eat you. I'll see a horror movie version of Elf. I like Elf. I got the TV show there. I'll see a horror movie version of it. That's what I mean. I kind of admire the balls on it, but it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know that. So, I mean, the idea, I'm open to those quirky, fun ideas, done in this way, not in the Sci-Fi Channel way. Fucking Sharknado, wall-to-wall, awful, terrible CGI. I will say this, even though the animatronics clearly look like people in suits. You see the fur and it's pressing against the skin, and you just tell like people just in these suits moving. I will say the animatronic theme was done better, I thought, in this movie. Like, these felt like animatronics. It didn't feel like just someone in a suit. And I will say I like this movie much more than this. This movie kind of made me appreciate this film even more. So, despite its flaws, like some of the action could have been done better. One thing I will say this film did better was the kills. Like, that's one thing this film could have done better is the kills, the gore. Other than one or two of them, it could have been better. Like this film could have taken notes from this film about the gore scenes, because like one person gets cut in half for a magic trick, one gets a mallet to their head, one person gets their face burned up, and then later on gets stabbed in the back, and when it pulls out you see like a little bit of spine. One person gets ripped apart, just the guy's on a wheel, and it goes to the bed. What's a banana split? And so some of them take the guy and rip him apart. Practical gore. One person gets a lollipop stuffed down their throat and you see a little bit of bulge. That's where definite props to those moments. Again, I think this film is better in a lot of other ways. I think this has much better pacing than this film. I think the lead is much... The mom is pretty badass, but Nick Cage is the ultimate badass in this. I like the style more, the color scheme, its off-kilter humor, the animatronics. I thought it had a more interesting story and background as to why these things are evil. Like, this was more interesting to me. It was... And the simplicity... Yeah, I got a kick out of this film. This one... At the end of the day, I thought it was okay. Like, 7-8 minutes in, there you go. That was okay. Like I said, I like off-kilter movies in the vein of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is a better movie than this. Movies that are not just crappy CGI on top of CGI, like the Sharknadoes and the Sci-Fi Channel, Piranhaconda versus Supersaurus versus Assaholic Anonymous, whatever the fuck title it is now. Taking an old show, a kid show, making it into a horror film, implying some decent gore makeup effects. For a 90-minute movie, that was a bit longer than that. A bit longer. The pacing was pretty awful. I would say that was the worst part of the film, that pacing, because I get that it's trying to do a build-up on the characters, but you're kind of waiting for the movie to get into second gear, and even when some killings start, it still doesn't feel like it's in second gear. It's a weird thing that I don't know how to put it. The story of the film is this little kid is having a birthday. The mom is going to, for a present, go to this live taping. And the family that goes there is the mom, her older actual kid, Austin, which I wasn't sure about because he's very mumbly mouth. He's very tall like this. Huh? Can you speak up? Can you speak up? I don't know. Hey, can I get your number? Can you speak the fuck up? I can barely understand what you're saying. But by the end, I didn't mind him based on his actions and such. I didn't mind him. The dad, who is a complete fucking asshole, but he does get his comeuppance. How do I put it? I believe the little kid is that guy's son, while the older kid is the mom's actual son. So, like, the older guy looks at him as a stepbrother. I believe that's the case here. And they also invite one of the little kid's classmates, Chloe, so that the kid isn't alone. So they go to a live taping of the Banana Splits. And I'm like, so we're expected to believe the Banana Splits are around in 2019? That's what I mean. It is a weird choice to pick. Again, a show that only lasted... But I believe in the movie they do say this is a revamp. This is a reboot of the show that's been on for quite a few years now. So it's establishing that. And you have the studio audience. Of the studio audience, you do get some annoying characters here. You get these two older people, guy and girl, who are vloggers. They're always talking about vlogging. And like they knew a lot about the old show from... I'm like... I'm probably older than you, and I didn't even know of the show. What, you guys know the show, really? The original show? But they was pretty irritating. Then you have this dad who wants this little girl to see an agent there, because, hey, be beautiful, maybe you'll be a star. So, a dickhead. But he gets his comeuppance too. And yeah, the animatronics, like I said, they do look like people in suits. You kind of wish they put a little bit more money into, kind of like this, which I know the lighting, like they really did make this look like actual animatronics. Now granted, when they get hit, you see robotic stuff underneath, which was a nice touch. But again, when they walk around, it does seem like just a guy at Chuck E. Cheese. So it's not really that scary, and maybe the idea is funny, but that... So that's what I mean, you get a horror film comedy that's not really that funny, and not really scary, but it's just quirky for me that makes it semi-interesting. They find out that the show's canceled, so the people behind the scenes are mad about it. I will say the stage that the audience is in is a very gloomy stage, like very dark. It seems like the set of a Saw movie, or just the way they're shooting, then the way everything looks, it just looks very gloomy. It looks like Hostel, part 4. It just doesn't seem like a welcoming stage for a live audience. Anyway, they go through the show. The show's over. Most of the audience leaves. By this point, we're like 30 some, maybe, I don't know about 40. That might be pushing. Like 30 minutes in, like the pacing needed a bit of work. It needed a bit of work. And when the deaths start happening, there's, again, someone gets a lollipop stuffed down their throat. But that's what I mean. It doesn't really go into second gear. Like, a killing happens, but then the two vloggers, they wander off. The dad wants to see the one... I don't remember the guy's name. The guy's like, oh, I want my little girl to see an agent. He's wandering off to find someone behind the scenes to look at his little girl. The main mom in the movie finds out that the asshole husband is cheating on her. It's not a bad looking movie, cinematography wise. I've seen much worse looking movies. But like I said, it doesn't have the pizzazz, the style, the color scheme of, say, this movie. Like this movie, I thought did a nice job with the direction, the style. Like this kept its energy and its pacing fairly well. Again, the only thing I would say this did better was that the death scenes are a bit better. Just when there's these teens that try to help Nick Cage, when they get killed, you really don't see much. And that's one of the main nitpicks I have with that movie. Like I said, a guy gets cut in half. One guy finds a body and the head falls off. Decent practical gore. I like that the mom... Decent actress. I wish I could remember... I want to get her name. Because I thought this actress did a good job as the mom, because she's trying to do her best. She's trying to keep the peace. Even though the dad, her husband's being an asshole. More worried about being on work on the phone than his own son's birthday. That's why I think it's his son, and then the older kid is her son. And then those two are brothers by marriage. But like her older son is being attacked, and the fucking animatronic's like, time's almost up. And the mom comes up and goes, yeah, for you, and knocks the motherfucker off the damn catwalk. I'm like, alright, like this actress is pretty decent, she's a badass. So this is the type of mom you would want. Pretty damn cool. And that's what I mean. It seems like, okay, now the movie's going down the second gear, but something about it just doesn't quite get there, and I don't know why. Dani Kind as Beth Williams. I don't know who that is. Because then the movie stops, and for these other two characters that we don't really care about, part of the show, the normal show, is kids going through an obstacle course where they meet these two people. One's the guy's like, oh, I want my daughter to have an agent, who got his face burned but he's not dead. And then a woman who is behind the scenes. They do an obstacle course. In which case, they both get killed. One gets a mallet to the head, one gets stabbed in the back. I want to see, what has this lady done? Dani Kind. Sorry, I did like her. I thought she did the best. She was a waitress, no name on the character in Jeff Burt's Monster Slayer. Which, that's actually a fun movie. That's a film I actually would like to have seen a sequel to. Because it has its issues. It's not a perfect film. But Jack Burt's Monster Slayer was fun enough that would have been interesting to see a sequel to that. With some really good... that's a movie that has some really good practical effects. Movies that I don't recognize. I don't recognize... Two Deaths of Henry Baker, The Lie, The Night Before Halloween, October Gale. No, I don't know anything. Apparently, Working Moms, the TV show, which she received a Canadian Screen Award nomination for Best Actress in a Comedy Series in 2019. Working Moms, okay. I don't know what the hell that is. It's a TV show. Yeah, I know, but I still don't know. 5.1 on IMDb. I can understand it. This is not a film I would defend, but it was a film that was interesting for one watch. What does Willy's Wonderland get? 5.6, okay. I think that's a bit low for Willy's Wonderland, but oh well. A lot of people don't like the film, that's fine. But yeah, that's one I liked a lot more than this. Oh, it's a lot? That's what I mean, like, this movie, it needed better pacing. It needed to find a way to get in the second year. Maybe what should have happened was, because, okay, spoilers from here on out, major spoilers. When the movie did get going, when it was the mom, her older son, this lady who is the page, the lady who taught with the audience, this one girl who is with the vlogger guy, and then she goes a bit crazy and wants to become one of the characters, the Banana Splits. She kills the one asshole guy that helped the animatronics. That was could be interesting, but not a whole lot is done with that too much, except they kind of save it for a sequel, or hopeful sequel. Just to jump ahead, people get out, animatronics are destroyed, but she is a bit crazy, wearing a piece of a suit, driving away with the bus of animatronics, I guess for a hopeful sequel, which it's never going to happen. But when it's like the mom and the older son and finally get going, they find out that the audience that left earlier, all the adults were killed off screen, and then the kids were taken and put into this chamber because the Banana Splits, the evil ones, want to do a show. And that's what it kind of got more interesting for me. This really fucked up, kind of ballsy idea of these kid-friendly animatronics doing this horrific show where they're tearing someone apart in front of this audience of kids. Oh, hey, boys and girls, the show must go on. That's where it got kind of interesting, and it seemed a little bit too little too late, because if you want to do a build-up, the build-up should have been about 20-25 minutes, which it kind of was doing, but then it should have been the audience is leaving, the animatronics stop, and then try to find a bit more budget. I don't know what... I've seen lower budget films try to do this as well. They just go up shit creek and start killing. But, I mean, even this film kind of did that, where it's showing a little montage of these animatronics killing a select group of people. Even the way they did it, they show like a little montage of them killing multiple people. Could have done that with here, where, no, I don't expect you to showcase 40, 50 deaths. But, 3, 4, maybe 5 specific ones, and then you'll grab someone, you have blood come down, grab someone, death, murder. The animatronics have trapped the remaining survivors. They have to figure out how to get out. And then boom, that's when we're in second year. And then how do we get the fuck out of here? Then we get in the third year to get into the finale. I think this is in spoiler territory. I like that the mom and I like that the older kid finally mans up and they're battling the animatronics and get the kids out of there. Not just their kids and brothers, but all the other random studio audience's kids. And the mom has a wrench, is beating the shit out of one, and the older son comes in and stabs one in the head. Also the idea that the little kid befriended Snorky the elephant and turned him to the good side. So there's a moment where there's the last evil animatronic, Snorky is fighting in, they both kill each other off. I didn't mind that idea, having one of them be a good guy. I wish more was done with it, where like during the big fight with the mom fighting the two, if Snorky came in to help the mom and be like 2-on-2 and fighting and blah blah blah. I don't know, just maybe the limitations of budget. I don't know, just something about it was missing. And it's nothing that made me mad. I didn't hate this film. Like I said, I liked it for its quirkiness, for its off-kilter plot, for a couple of decent death scenes. It's not a downbeat ending. The mom I liked and became a bit of a badass. Maybe not as badass as Nick Cage, but she had a couple moments. But I liked her acting. Even the ending I didn't mind. It was kind of, like I said, the asshole dad gets his comeuppance. That's who, 'tis the girl who goes crazy. The two people she kills are evil assholes. Like the guy who's helping animatronics and the cheating asshole dad husband. Because she runs his ass over and then she drives off. For a sequel bait ending, I've seen much, much worse. That at least gave me kind of a and like, yeah, fuck that asshole. He got his comeuppance. And the other characters, they get off fine, and it's again a decent ending for what it needed to be. And I would say if you all liked this movie, it's worth a watch. I don't think it's as good as this movie, but again, I'm more open to this kind of film being made just to see something a bit unique and a bit off the beaten path. And it's not a long film. It's only 90 minutes long. And like I said, the pacing made it feel a bit longer. I think that's the biggest culprit as to why I didn't love the film. But I mean, the acting by the mom, the little kid was fine. The other little girl, Chloe, was fine. The older kid was a bit of a mumble mouth. Do I need subtitles to hear you, man? Just speak up, man. Shit, fuck. Like I said, the Banana Splits, I didn't grow up with it, so I don't have any nostalgic feelings for those characters. Like I said, I mean, at the very least, it wasn't too long. It was interesting to see what would happen next. It didn't really do anything that made me mad or piss me off. And it was a decent time waster. It was a decent time waster. It would be one of those movies for me that I watch. And it's like a maybe 3 out of 5 star movie. 3.5 if I'm really, really pushing it, but probably like a 3. Like, again, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, 5.1, I can't defend it, but I've seen much worse films that have gotten a lot more praise. So I guess when you see the cover, I guess you kind of go, what are you expecting? And like I said, a couple of the lead characters are decent. At least I thought the mom was. The movie wasn't that badly filmed. It wasn't bad editing. It wasn't funky camera, schizophrenic frame cutting, or editing like Taken 2, Taken 3, like those kind of movies. There was at least a little bit of gore. It wasn't just a bloodless movie. And I thought it took a little bit too long to get going. There's a few times you really put into another gear. Whether, chase sequences or maybe a bit more action sequences would have been nice. Or even a bigger body count would have been nice. Or maybe a little bit more style. Like, this has some style. Even when Nicolas Cage is playing the pinball and all the different angles of the pinball and the different lights and color scheme and the music used. And at the end of the film, you have this like animated closing of the movie, which gave a bit of a personality to it. That could have been used in this. But overall, I had fun enough to be like, I thought it was okay. That was an okay film. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.